Oh my god. Oh no. It's the way it goes. What if Asmongold was a raid boss?
The following video is not intended to cause personal offense nor to be interpreted as a personal attack on the individuals included or mentioned in the video. Should the person or people included or mentioned in the video feel that I have not exercised enough discretion to meet with the above mentioned criteria, this video will be removed should they demand that it be done. Enjoy. We're far in the future now, and World of Warcraft is in crisis. The danger of not being able to produce new meaningful raid encounters looms on the horizon. Aware of this threat,
I think this has already
Blizzard
happened.
makes an unorthodox move, and instead of using lore characters as a concept for raid encounters, they reach outside of the game for inspiration.
Oh, no.
In this video, I will tell you about, as well as how to defeat one of Blizzard's newest, most unconventional raid bosses in the game yet.
Okay.
In a mysterious, neglected house within one of the many community environs of one of Battle for Azeroth's latest new zones.
Oh, it's my house,
called
right?
Austin, Texas, swirls a green portal, which serves as an
Okay.
entrance to a yet unexplored raid instance.
Yeah?
Asmongold's lair. Within this charnel dwelling resides a solitary raid boss, the raid's eponymous, the one and only
Okay.
Asmongold. Asmongold's lair is a one-boss raid instance which
Yeah?
players may choose to enter in 3 different
One
difficulty
boss
modes:
only.
normal, heroic, and mythic. Take note that this
Okay, turn off the video. Delete this shit. There's gonna be multiple difficulties for me as a raid boss. I don't want anybody killing me on normal mode, dude. Yeah, dude, like, I mean, I don't want people killing me on normal mode. That's embarrassing, man. I feel like a fucking loser.
instance does not exist on Raid Finder difficulty,
Oh.
so don't even bother looking for it in the Raid
Okay, you know what?
Finder
Never mind,
tab.
never mind. This is good.
Upon entering the dungeon, the raid group will find themselves inside a derelict corridor.
Oh my
Their
God.
first order of business is to deal with a sizable group of ads that stand in the way.
What are the ads?
This swarm of skittering cockroaches thrives on neglected food and a general lack of hygiene, so it's best to make sure that no one in the raid group
What the
wears
fuck?
anything that remotely represents filth, and also
Yeah?
not have any food consumables that have been kept
Oh
in
my
the player's
God.
inventory for longer than a week. Players who do not meet these conditions will become priority targets to these cockroaches, regardless of threat generated.
Wow.
The raid must cut a path through the swarm of skittering cockroaches as fast as possible. This is because once engaged
What,
in
they
combat,
respawn?
they will keep spawning repeatedly and in increasing numbers.
Okay.
So, if your damage is low, you will be in
Okay.
danger of being overwhelmed.
You just knew it,
The
man.
corridor is
You
divided
just
into
fucking
2
knew it.
safe zones and 1 hazard zone. Entering the hazard zone triggers the cockroach
Oh, this is
gauntlet,
each one of
causing
my
the bots
rooms,
to
I
start
guess.
spawning repeatedly. This, however, stops happening when the whole
Yeah?
raid reaches the opposite safe zone at the end of the corridor.
Okay.
Therefore, the goal is to get there as soon as possible.
Okay.
On mythic difficulty, entering a hazard zone also causes the queen to spawn. And so long as she is alive, cockroaches will continue to spawn regardless of where the players stand. So it is crucial that she is dealt with as soon as possible. The queen
Oh my
has a large
God.
health pool, and although the damage
Oh,
she deals
shit.
is small, she wields an aura that motivates other cockroaches around her to be more effective. Furthermore, her presence on the battlefield accelerates the rate at which new cockroaches spawn.
Wait, it's playing the
Once
next
this part
ROM
of
as
the raid
Spiderwing
instant
music.
is dealt with,
What the
players
fuck?
will find themselves climbing up a short, unkempt stairway, which leads directly to the eponymous room of the raid instance, where Asmongold himself lies in wait.
Yeah?
There are 2 core
This is really-
mechanics around which the boss fight
Oh my God.
revolves. 1. Most of the encounter consists
Oh
of
my
avoiding
fucking
environmental
God, dude.
effects which cover the majority of the area.
Is that me looking at
Therefore,
Warcraft
proper
logs?
positioning and movement means everything. This is because the whole place is a
this is
terrible mess,
amazing.
riddled with piles of neglected fast food boxes that would make even a cleaning lady keel over. Players
Probably
who collide
true.
with a neglected fast
Yeah,
food
probably
box
true.
will receive a debuff called Mold Spores. This debuff can stack for each food box
Oh my
a player
fucking
walks
God.
through. Take note that a fast food box despawns when you topple it, but
Yeah?
it will respawn soon after. Mold
It sure
Spores
will.
is a disease debuff, which deals
Especially
a small
if
amount of
it's a
nature
Wendy's
damage
one.
every 4 seconds.
Those
If
ones
a player
respawn every
reaches
day.
12 stacks of Mold Spores, they become mind controlled for 30 seconds and slowly start walking
my
towards
God.
Asmongold. I will soon tell you why, so bear with me.
What is it, like an
On
empowering thing?
heroic mode, walking over a fast food box
Yeah.
spawns 3 rampant cockroaches who cause a stackable infected bite with each attack.
Oh
This
my
deals a small amount of
God.
damage every second and increases
No,
nature damage
dude.
taken by 2% for 15 seconds.
No.
This is not dispellable, and therefore any cockroaches that spawn should be dealt with quickly before the debuff escalates.
I guess
On
so.
mythic mode, 6 rampant cockroaches spawn instead. The second core mechanic revolves around the fact that Asmongold actually shows the encounter live on his stream. Let me explain how this works.
Asmon.
There are 2 factors that a player must
my
pay attention to. First, how many viewers are watching Asmongold? Second,
That's
how
important.
happy they are with the quality of the stream. The
Not
amount of
at
viewers
all.
watching Asmongold is defined by a percentage value.
Okay.
In all difficulty modes, the fight starts off with 50% of viewer capacity.
Okay.
Asmongold is a neckbeard streamer, and therefore the amount of viewers he has at any time throughout the encounter determines whether he is stronger or weaker. For every 1% of viewers above the 50% threshold, Asmongold gains a 0.5% increased damage dealt, as well as a 0.5% reduced damage taken.
Okay.
However, below the 50%
That's right, guys,
threshold,
protect
the
me.
bonuses become inverse, meaning that for every 1% of viewers lost, Asmongold will deal a 0.5% less damage and take 0.5%
That's right.
more
People with
damage
low viewer
from
counts do
players.
less
The
damage.
key objective is to make sure
I
that
like
Asmongold
this.
drops down on viewers, ideally to 0. This
What?
is because at 0%, Asmongold becomes a dead streamer, which doubles the values of
Wait,
his
whoa!
streamer status. So this means that he will ultimately deal 50% less damage and
What?
receive 50% more damage
No, no.
from players.
No, this is not.
This also applies
Guys,
if
don't-
Asmongold
stop.
peaks to 100% viewer capacity, and you don't want this to happen. In this case, Asmongold becomes God of Twitch, which causes him to deal 50% more damage and receive 50% less damage. In the later phases of the
the
encounter,
fuck,
this
dude?
is guaranteed to lead to a quick
Wow.
wipe. When the fight begins, players will see a power bar displayed on their screens which shows how many viewers are watching the stream,
God
so
of
pay
Twitch.
attention to the power bar.
Okay.
The mechanic that determines whether Asmongold gains or loses viewers is built around the entertainment factor. In other words, how happy are the viewers? This is displayed on a second power bar next to the number of viewers bar. There are a total of 5 states that Asmongold's viewers can be in: ecstatic, happy, neutral, unhappy, or angry.
Angry, yeah.
If the viewers are ecstatic, the viewer number
Okay,
grows by
this is wrong because the angry number of people watching now decreases by 2%. That's not true. If they're mad, they keep watching. Like if they're the madder they are, the longer they watch.
2% every 9 seconds. If they're happy, the viewers grow by 1% every 9 seconds. At neutral, nothing happens.
Neutral, they leave because they're
the viewer
bored.
number decreases by 1% every 9 seconds, and if they're pissed off, the viewer number decreases by 2% every 9 seconds.
It's a lot.
The objective is simple. Bring
That is
the
a lot.
entertainment factor as low as possible. Prevent it
Hey,
from
what?
going above neutral. Do this to slowly,
shit.
but surely, bring down the number of
This is
people
how to kill my
watching Asmongold's
stream.
stream. This will render him increasingly vulnerable and help make the fight easier in
What
general.
the fuck?
There are several ways how the entertainment factor is influenced, and I will touch on those as I go through the details of the encounter. So make sure to pay attention to the video. Lastly, there are 2 important things about Asmongold that should be taken into consideration.
And those are?
Throughout the entirety of the encounter, Asmongold is a slayer of furries. This means that every source of damage that players can suffer is quadrupled on players that are either Vorgan, Volpera, or Pandaren. So
Okay,
if
you
you're
know what? I
thinking
like
of bringing
this.
in players who are either
like
one of
this.
the 3 races, then
This
you
is
should
more
probably
complicated
think
than
twice
Mythic
before
Ashara.
inviting them, if you want to invite them at all.
Yeah.
On heroic
Don't
difficulty,
invite them.
Asmongold is a slayer of furries as well as weebs. This is the same as a slayer of furries on normal mode, but
Yeah.
in the event that someone in the group mentions
Talks about
anything
Naruto,
that is
they're dead.
even remotely related to anime, you get one-shotted. On
That's
mythic
right.
difficulty, this passive ability
This is very
changes a
accurate,
little
actually.
bit. This means that if a Worgen, Volpera, or a Pandaren character is present in the raid
Yeah.
group, Asmongold starts the fight with a 99% reduced enrage timer, causing him to, well, enrage immediately upon the pool, and that's a downright wipe. Players who decide to watch anime while doing this raid on mythic difficulty immediately get booted out and get banned from entering Asmongold's lair for 6 months.
That's it?
The encounter consists
Wow.
of 3 phases, with 2 intermission phases in
Holy
between.
shit.
Phase 1 begins immediately upon pulling the boss. Now begins the fight.
What the fuck?
The fight starts off with Asmongold announcing his entry into the arena.
Alright.
This causes a temporary spike in the chat's entertainment factor, throwing
Yeah.
them into the ecstatic state as the chat becomes proliferated with a tidal wave of pogs and pog champs and whatever else is the
They're
trend.
excited
And
now.
because of this, players must act with precision to bring the entertainment factor down as quickly as possible.
This is what they
First
do.
of all, Asmongold is not stupid, and he is aware that focusing on the tanks is an idiot strategy. So, he would rather
only
go
kills
for the healers
DPS.
first. Unfortunately, the video game environment prevents him from cognitively acting that way, so, like most other raid bosses, he becomes a nice victim to World of Warcraft's programming code and focuses his attacks on a target with the highest threat instead. Alas, Asmongold is heavily
Suecos.
invested in the whole
Yeah,
idea
Suecos.
of being a mighty warrior, so you'd think his auto attacks would deal a lot of damage. Well, the
That's
thing
true.
is, well, he doesn't really pack the muscular density necessary to deal a lot of physical damage, so tanks and healers can rest easy. He doesn't do a lot of damage. He will, however, and quite often I should say, throw
okay,
scrunched
dude.
up papers
Okay,
at his
dude.
current target. This one deals physical damage and it hurts
Scrunched
a
up
lot.
paper.
Don't ask me why, it just does. Simply
Wait, that
avoid the
hurts more
direction
than
in which
me?
he
Wow.
throws them, and you're good. Tanks, you don't want to aim these papers towards the rest of the group. Also, make sure that Asmongold does not face the wall if you're tanking him close to
What's
it.
it gonna
The
bounce
scrunched up
off?
papers can ricochet off the wall, and
Yep.
it's guaranteed to hit Asmongold right in the face. Yes, this will disorient him a little bit for 2 seconds, but it has a tremendously positive impact on the entertainment factor, which ends up boosting the stream quality, and more viewers will rush in to watch, which results in Asmongold growing more powerful.
That's
Asmongold
actually
also
true.
keeps the tanks busy with an ability
Wow.
called Check Chat
I
Logs.
haven't read anybody's logs all day, dude. It's been a while. This is some new content.
A spell that is channeled for 12 seconds, and at the end of its duration, he inspects the chat logs of his current target, finds out that he or she is an absolute spurg, and banishes the player permanently from the encounter. This has a positive impact on
I
the
do that every
entertainment
day.
factor.
Yes, I do
not
that every fucking
good.
day.
Taunting Asmongold resets the channel time of his ability. So, tanks, you gotta make sure that you're always paying attention and cycle through taunts on time. Be aware that Asmongold has poor hygiene.
I do not smell bad at all.
This means that every 1 second, Asmongold pulses with a pungent Nova in a
no, come
40-yard radius. When a player is hit 3 times by this, a stack of mold spores is applied to them. If not enough players are affected by the Nova after the 3rd pulse, a large immobile ooze spawns. This neckbeard ooze radiates an unavoidable raid-wide Nova every 3 seconds that applies a stack of mold spores.
That's a lot to
Killing the
deal with.
ooze will leave behind a toxic pool at its location.
That's a lot.
Players who stand within the pool for more than 1.5 seconds becomes mind controlled for 30 seconds as if they had 12 stacks of mold spores.
That's a lot of
Now, I
spores.
have mentioned the mind control before, so what does a mind controlled player do then? Well, you see, Asmongold has a secret aura about him called I don't make gold, gold makes me. What this does is that every mind-controlled player becomes inexorably drawn towards Asmongold, forcing them to slowly walk towards him. Once they get within melee range of the boss, a trade window will pop up and the mind-controlled player begins to funnel his gold straight into Asmongold's pocket. In the event that a player becomes mind control, the best course of action is to rely on crowd control abilities, and as sure as hell, make sure that they are not
Wait,
near
what do
the
you mean?
boss,
No,
or else
you
they
want
start
me to trade
losing
me
their
the gold.
hard-earned cash. On heroic mode, poor hygiene is replaced by 14 days later, same shirt.
I do not smell bad.
This means that instead of applying mold spores every 3rd pulse, the
It's
debuff
only
is
been a
applied
week,
every
guys. I'm halfway
2nd
there.
pulse instead. Throughout
Okay.
Phase 1, Asmongold will periodically perform an armory check on 3 players of the raid,
Yeah, let's check his armory. That's a good idea.
with the exception of the
Okay.
tanks. Now in this case, 2 things can happen. If the item level of the inspected player is lower than the item level of Asmongold's loot table, they will receive a humiliation debuff for 30 seconds, which reduces the player's damage dealt based on the percentage value of how many people are watching Asmongold now. This is because the
Oh my
humiliated
God.
player also gets roasted by
Oh my
Asmongold, and the
fucking
chat
God,
loves
dude.
that.
What the fuck
What
is wrong
the
with you? How are you this bad at the fucking game? This is embarrassing. Holy shit, this is terrible.
So make sure your item
Wow,
levels are
okay.
adequate for the fight, please. If their item
Yeah,
level
this is
equal
brilliant.
to or higher than that of Asmongold's loot table, he will proceed to slowly walk towards one of them with gradually increasing movement speed in an attempt to seize their highest item level weapon, whether they have it equipped or in their bags.
Wait, yeah.
Players must stay
Oh my
on alert
God.
when this happens. Here's why. During Can I Get
Oh
That?
my God.
A random neglected fast food box will start
Uh-oh.
glowing with a golden light, which signifies that instead of leftover food, it actually contains a fresh supply of Wendy's spicy nuggets. Players must quickly act and navigate through the labyrinth of fast food boxes and acquire
To get the
Once
nuggets?
they've taken possession of them, they must quickly run and place it in
Oh
front of
my
Asmongold
God,
or
dude.
in Asmongold's path. This will cause
What,
him
to
become
distract
distracted
me?
for 10 seconds, putting an end to his attempt at stealing the player's precious loot.
Yeah.
And what if the raid fails to stop him? Well,
Oh my
what happens
fucking
depends
God.
on which item type Asmongold commandeers.
Yep.
Wow. That's a big boy.
If it's a dagger or fist weapon, he gets a 30% attack speed increase.
Yeah.
If it's a sword, he gets 20% increased damage. Polearm, 15% attack speed and 15% damage dealt. Bows, crossbows, guns, they turn Asmongold's auto attack into ranged. Maces cause Asmongold's every 4th attack to stun his target for 3 seconds. With an axe,
just like Storm
Asmongold will
Herald.
cast Execute every 10 seconds, dealing 40% of his current target's maximum health. A staff
There
is
it
a bit
is.
special. Asmongold will use the high amount of intellect stored within the weapon to cure his verbal dyslexia. As a matter of fact, the chat loves it when Asmongold screws up spelling a word correctly.
Like, I cannot spell.
So him
Yep.
equipping a staff actually ends up affecting the entertainment factor negatively, so you can use this to your advantage. Sometimes, Asmongold will do something rather unorthodox.
Okay.
Excited by the thrill of battle, Asmongold will not be able to resist but think back to the good old days when he played outside in the streets in the evening, role-playing as certain top characters from World of Warcraft. So, he takes
There it
hold of
is.
his long, thick traffic cone that he found on the side of some construction site many years ago, starts pretending that he is Lord Marrogar and, with the cone held out, starts spinning towards a random target.
This is the beginning.
Oh, you guys haven't seen this before. Oh, one second. Strat Asmongold. Oh, look at this. I'm gonna show you guys. So you know what this is.
This is the beginning and the end.
That's me, by the way.
None made it to the master sanctum.
Upload 2010. That's my friend Austin. Here we go. Watch this.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
I can't believe he thought of this. That's me. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, spirits all dropped.
We used to really put out some serious great content. We put out some real fucking good, some good shit. Okay, let's say that. We put up some real good shit.
And mortals, none made it to the master
Okay.
sanctum.
The job is simple. Avoid his AoE.
Yeah?
Be very careful when this happens, however, as Asmongold can topple over a fast food box if he collides with one while spinning. At the end of Bone Storm, the boss starts feeling dizzy, and the self-inflicted
no.
vertigo causes him to clumsily plummet to the ground, toppling over
Uh-oh.
any fast food box within the point of impact.
Yeah?
So make sure that you're keeping him a safe distance away from fast food boxes in general. This is your opportunity to negatively impact the entertainment factor. Here's how. Shortly before Asmongold falls, one player can stand between the boss and his webcam, blocking the view. Chat's gonna be on the edge of their seats, wanting to see Asmongold trip over, but you prevent them from seeing this and they get pissed off, so keep this in mind. By the way, don't, and I mean it, don't even think about tanking Asmongold close or within the perimeter of his computer. This particular area is marked as a biohazard zone. Stand in it and you will lose 10% HP every 1 second, in addition to not being able to use any ability whatsoever. And last thing, and be very careful.
It's not that bad.
Execute machine. Healers must keep everyone about 20% health at all times
Execute
throughout
machine.
phases 1, 2, and 3. No
The
joke,
execute
dude. He starts
machine.
looking for people at 20% at all times. You see someone at 20% HP, well,
Okay,
you know what's
dude.
gonna happen. We all saw it.
Okay.
Upon dropping Asmongold to 70% of his maximum HP, the first intermission phase begins.
I need to take a piss. I'll be right back. I gotta take a piss. Just give me a second. Okay. I'm back. Sorry about that, boys.
Asmongold retreats to his computer, barricading himself behind an impassable barrier which consists of a large collection of fast food boxes.
Yeah? Well, actually...
Once Asmongold parks at his computer, he begins to entertain Twitch chat by reacting to videos. The goal is to shatter the barrier as quickly as possible and stop Asmongold from successfully reacting to a video, otherwise the entertainment factor gets boosted. On heroic difficulty, attacking the barrier also causes collateral splatter, which causes portion of liquid mold and Dr. Pepper leftovers to leak onto the ground, dealing dangerous amounts of nature damage to players standing